I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. I'm coming.
So gay.
Right? It's a good song. Thank you, Diana, for such an anthem for us. Hi, everybody. My name is Justin Gerhard, and welcome to the Gay Men channel. I'm your host. This is my weekly vlog called Gayforjustin, and this week on the episode, we're going to talk about the Stonewall Riots. If you don't know what that is, then you better keep watching. I think that it's so important to know the history about the LGBT community, especially if you are a part of the LGBT community, and even if you're just an ally. I think knowing the history about how we got to where we are today is really important. All right, folks, so here are the 6 things that I think are really important to know about Stonewall. Number 1, Stonewall, it happened in New York City in Greenwich Village. It was June 28th, 1969. It was a raid at the Stonewall Inn, which is a place where a lot of gay people, trans people, people that were not a part of the mainstream society would hang out, and they raided this club, which is called the Stonewall Inn. Stonewall's not about stones. Don't get confused. Point number 2. This riot is considered to be one of the most influential things that happened. It's what started the gay liberation movement. After this, people were like, this is ridiculous. We cannot live in a world where these people can't be who they want to be. So if you're Canadian, the equivalent to the Stonewall Riots was Operation Soap, which were also some raids that happened, and it was in Toronto. So February 5th, 1981, there were 4 different bathhouses. They were gay bathhouses in Toronto that were raided by the Toronto Metropolitan Police. And often these bathhouses were the only places that people that were gay or that were lesbian or that were transgender or just not accepted in the community, that they felt some acceptance and that they felt safe to be a little more who they are. People were beaten, and it was not a pleasant sight for anybody to see. So if you're Canadian, that's the equivalent. So 3.5, it's never been confirmed, but I would assume that these men in self-defense would have used the soap or the chlorine to like defend themselves against all these police. I mean, have you never been in a shower, you get soap in your eyes, and you're totally down? I wouldn't be surprised if they used some soap. It's called Operation Soap. Like, why else would it be called that? Point number 4 is that Operation Soap is considered to be the largest mass raid in Canadian history, only to be broken in 2006 by, guess what? The Stanley Cup playoffs in Edmonton, Alberta. Point number 4.5, I would guess that there was a lot of gay men that were also a part of this riot in Edmonton. So I don't know, maybe we are still a part of the biggest riot in history. I think it still counts. I don't know about you. I feel like I got on a little tangent there. This is actually supposed to be about the Stonewall Riots. However, Stonewall, Stone Soap, Soap Wall, Soap Operation, I feel like they're linked, totally. Like stone and soap, like limestone. Both movements are such a huge part of the beginning, the birthplace of the gay liberation movement in both countries. There are huge reasons why we have pride parades today. So 5.5, back to the Stonewall Riot. So after the Stonewall raid in the early morning of June 28th, the next morning, even more people came out to the streets and started to protest. Then a few nights later, even more people came out, and the reason that it had so much impact was because more and more people were just so fed up with this. It just didn't seem fair to them. So they came, and this is exactly where the idea of a pride parade sort of began. There wasn't a pride parade then, though there were some marches and some protests that started to pop up all around the city in New York. So a year later, in 1970, they used June 28th in a few different cities across America to remember what had happened a year before in Stonewall and the developments that have been made since then. June is considered the Pride Month because the Stonewall Riots happened at the end of June. So if you've always been wondering, like, why is it in June? Cha-cha! There started the Pride Parade. which is amazing. There was one in LA, New York, San Francisco, and Chicago as well, all on June 28th, 1970, to remember the Stonewall Riots. That's part of why I wanted to do this episode for you guys, because I think when you go to the Pride Parade, understanding like, why does this Pride Parade even exist? Why do we get to dress up all crazy and like wear as little as possible and just go crazy and be all proud to be gay? Where did that start? Why did it start? And why do we have that privilege right now? I think those are important things to know, to be even more grateful for the society that we live in. I know that not everywhere in the world is it the same as when you're in Toronto and New York and London, but we're getting there. It takes these big cities being this open and accepting as a starting place, and that is going to just continue to spread into a lot of other communities surrounding the cities. Don't forget it. I mean, don't like talk about it every day, because that would be awkward, but just remember it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Justin Gerhard. I am the host of the Gay Men channel. If you have never been to the channel before, please subscribe, because I do a new video every Thursday. And if you're returning, please like the video, share the video. I also wanted to do a quick shout out to one of my fellow YouTubers, Davey Wavy. He's doing this really cool challenge. If you're a new YouTuber and you have under 10,000 subscribers, you can enter his contest. And if you win, you get to get some financial support from him, and I'm sure some mentoring about how to build your channel. So check it out. I'm going to put it in the description, a link to the video that he talks all about it. Just remember, y'all stay fabulous now.